Well, we continue our series confronting Iran this evening with more provocative actions by the rogue regime, just as the Biden administration is pushing to get the United States back on board that disastrous nuclear deal with Iran. International inspectors are sounding the alarm. There is new evidence that Iran has followed through on plans to begin production of sensitive uranium metals that are essential for the assembly of nuclear weapons. They claim they're using them for cancer research. Give me a break. This should serve as another clear sign that the Iranian regime is not interested in abiding by any limitations laid out in the deal. In fact, it's worse. State Department spokesperson Ned Price called Iran's move worrisome. That's an understatement.
It's another unfortunate step backwards for Iran. Particularly as we, for our part, have demonstrated our sincere intention and willingness to return to the JCPOA and to find more productive and durable ways to deal with the nuclear issue.
Look, I don't mean to be mean. That guy's with the State Department. He does not really portray bold leader right there. I'm sure Iran's laughing at us. Iran claims the enrichment of these metals is for medical research, as I said. Here's the ruse. They claim it's harmless civilian research for everything they do. All the while, they know they are actually provoking the world. It's by design, and they use that provocation as leverage in these negotiations. Consider this. News of the enrichment of this material comes just after I told you yesterday that Iran is working on an intercontinental ballistic missile program, the sole goal of which is to deliver a nuclear bomb to the United States. Negotiating, even engaging in any way with Iran, is a very bad idea. President Trump had them on the ropes. Leave it to Joe Biden to embolden our enemies. Well, joining me now is former U.S. Deputy Special Envoy to Monitor and Combat Anti-Semitism and Senior Fellow at the Center for Security Policy, Ellie Cohenum. Ellie, it's great to have you back on the show.
Grant, it's great to be with you.
Ellie, what do you make of this latest news of the special metals and the enriching of uranium here?
You know, the Iranian regime has been crystal clear in their actions that they seek to be a nuclear weapons power in the Middle East. And their track record has been to cause destabilization and proxy terror activity throughout the Middle East and North Africa region. And Grant, earlier you were talking about the threat to the United States, our own home here in the U.S. Well, Iran has a presence in Latin America, in Venezuela, through Hezbollah. They're right in our doorstep. And so this is a serious national security threat for us. We should all be concerned. And there's really no good reason that the Biden administration is making unilateral actions towards the Iranians, kind of giving into them over and over again, no matter what this regime does, including attacking our own assets in Iraq, Syria, and elsewhere.
Well, here's the State Department's resident tough guy, which he's really not doing a very good job of this. And really, Iranians only listen to tough guys, sadly. They love, they respond to that kind of thing. That's why President Trump had them on the ropes. This is Ned Price talking about a diplomatic route through all of this.
Now we continue to see the diplomatic route as the best way and the most effective way to again ensure that Iran can never acquire a nuclear weapon. It's what the JCPOA did. It's what the JCPOA can once again do if we're able to effect a return to mutual compliance.
All right, Ellie, a diplomatic way. Please tell me, what is Iranian leadership thinking when they hear that soundbite?
Grant, you know, I am a diplomat. I was a diplomat for the Trump administration. And so obviously I believe in diplomacy, but you have to know who you're negotiating with across the table. The Iranian regime hears only weakness in the Biden administration's signals because we are giving up all the leverage that the Trump administration had garnered with the maximum pressure campaign and the sanctions that we had levied against the Iranian regime. So they're just seeing U.S. weakness. I don't think they're taking us too seriously. And the reason why is that every action that the Iranian regime has taken so far, there's been no consequence. When they threatened the United States under the Trump administration, we took the ultimate action against them, and President Trump had the #1 terrorist in the world eliminated, and that was Mr. Soleimani, who's no longer with us. And so that is the kind of action that the Iranian regime understands, and that's when they understand that they cannot threaten the U.S. and they cannot threaten the West. Unfortunately, the Biden administration has given up all the leverage.
Well, it wasn't diplomats that took out Soleimani, and it was that maximum pressure campaign that I actually believe you take out Soleimani, you put maximum pressure on, you add the sanctions, now they're squeezed, and then guess what you do? You bring in people like you, Ellie, and then let the diplomats do their work.
Exactly right. And that's really the only thing the Iranian regime can understand. They only understand strength. They only understand military action. That's what they understand. And we need to be speaking the language that they can understand.
Yeah. Ellie Kohanim, it is so great to see you on the program. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.